Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to our EBS class. Today we have a very interesting topic which is about the waste. We know that we produce different things from our homes, schools, colleges, offices, universities, etc. The leftover material is called waste. Waste is something which is unwanted, worthless substance or material. Waste has a second name which is known as garbage. Garbage is considered as solid waste. There are a lot of examples of waste. First is when we go on shopping, there are a lot of shopping bags and packaging material that we throw away that are not in our use. When we cook food at our home, some food is left uneaten, it's also waste. Waste is something which is unwanted or left over after using the main object. There are different sources of waste. First source is domestic waste. Domestic waste is such type of waste which is produced from our homes or known as household waste. Most of the domestic waste includes bulk, paper, plastic, oil, metals, batteries, etc. Second is the industrial waste. As the industry word comes into your mind, there are already a lot of images recreated. When something is manufactured in the industries, some parts or some products are left byproduct as waste. These wastes are very poisonous and have a lot of poisonous chemicals. Third is agricultural waste. A lot of waste is generated from crops. These wastes contain crop remains, animal excreta, etc. These are biodegradable waste. Fourth waste is commercial waste. Commercial waste is such type of waste which is produced by schools, offices, universities, colleges, etc. Example is paper and plastic. Now, animals and plants also produce waste. Animals produce their body waste out in the open. Plants also produce waste such as rotten fruits, dry leaves and branches. This is called biodegradable waste that we get from natural resources. There are two types of waste, biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste is such type of waste which has a good quality in decomposing or which decomposes easily. Non-biodegradable waste is such type of waste which doesn't have a good quality in decomposing or takes decades or centuries to decompose. Plants produce biodegradable waste as well as animals. Humans also produce waste as they are by far the largest producers of waste on the earth. In ancient times, most human activities were based on hunting, farming, living in simple caves and mud huts. As there was low population, the waste production was also low. Most of the waste was human waste, animal waste and ash from fire till about 100 years back. As the population increased, the nature of waste also increased. Metals, glass, paper, oil were added to the list of human and agricultural waste. Now, a lot of waste is occupying space and humans are thinking how to dispose of this waste easily as it's creating a health hazard. Now, what is the situation today? This waste has become a major problem today. Human beings produce 2 trillion kg of waste, that is 300 kg of waste produced by per human being. We need to reduce the waste on the earth as we are pilling on the earth. Thank you.
Hello friends, it's me Zaira Farooq and today I'm going to assist you on a very interesting topic which is about waste. So let's get started. We know that we humans depend on many things from our environment to satisfy our daily needs. And in the process of our development, we produce or generate lots of things but which are actually of no use to us. And what we do, we simply discard them. Whatever we use in our daily lives means we use different objectives. We go to shopping, we eat food. Everything eventually leads to the generation of the waste. Let's take here an example. We often buy packaged foods, bottled drinks or the canned foods. But what we exactly do after using it? We throw away the wrappers, cans or the bottles, right? And what about the vegetable peels or the leftover food from our kitchen? Yes, even that goes into our dustbins. Right from the food we eat to our daily non-dietary needs, we end up with some unused parts or unused materials. Such materials which are no longer of any use to us are known as waste. Wastes contain every unused material, which is ranging from the food we eat to the toxic chemicals or the wastes. Or we can say it is ranging from the food we eat to any kind of the acid or the base. Now, let's discuss here about the producers of the waste. The first one is the plant waste. Plants produce waste such as dead trees, rotten fruits and flowers. The second producer of the waste is the animal waste. Animals produce their body waste out in the open, like the cow produces cow dung. When animals die, their bodies are also left as waste. Apart from all this, the bones and blood can also be considered as the part of the animal waste. plant and animal waste is natural, so they decompose to go back into the nature. Now there is the human waste. The main culprit in the waste generation is the human being because the greed and the wants of the human beings are never ending. Now let's see how the waste produced by the human beings has evolved over time. First one is the ancient times. In ancient times, people's simple activities were based on the hunting, farming and living in the simple mud huts or in the caves. The waste produced in those days was the food waste, human waste or the ash from the fire. Well, all these wastes were natural, so they would go back into nature or we can say they would decompose. Then, till about 100 years back, as the population of the human beings grew, what happened? We started extracting more and more minerals and the natural resources from our earth. And this became a major problem. It means that the amount of the waste increased and the nature of the waste totally changed. Now the metals, glass, oil and the paper were added to the list of the human and the agriculture waste, means the waste created by the humans. Now there is the situation today. If we talk about today's situation, the waste has become the major problem of the earth today. The humans use more and more natural resources, more and more minerals, and they do not think that how we can dispose of this waste. We should not create the health hazard on this earth. But no, they just only try to use their life and to use the lavish lifestyles. Western countries have been found to be the biggest contributors of the waste generation because of the lavish lifestyle of their people. In fact, the top 5 waste producing countries or the nations in the world are the developed nations of the world, like the Canada, Bulgaria, USA, Estonia and Finland. Now, this was all about my presentation, but I would not like to give only this. Don't litter, it makes the world better. Be clean, be green, be a recycling machine. Follow your duty to maintain the earth's beauty. Thank you.